Probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Joe Rogan just lit the internet on fire again, and this time he's going straight at Sean Diddy Combs. Why? Because Rogan just uncovered one of the most disturbing stories yet. What Diddy allegedly did to Leonardo DiCaprio when Leo was young. For years, rumors circled about Diddy's influence in Hollywood and the music world, but this time it's not hearsay. It's a story that's finally being connected by timelines, patterns, and whispers that never made the headlines until now.
So many horrific accusations though, involving young singers, young children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah. Well, if she's over 30, you don't even have to worry about Leo.
Not over like 23.
Yeah,
30. 30
That's
is like
what I
over
saw.
the hill.
Remember the photos of Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend,
Would you
Leonardo
like
DiCaprio? Yeah, she was like smiling at him, and then Jeff Bezos was joking around about pushing him off a cliff.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about her, bro. She's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could see her doing the cost benefit analysis, like Leo or richest man in the world.
Well, also, can you even keep Leo? That's not going to work.
No, you need to be 19.
Well, even if you're 19, as soon as you hit 24, he's going to be shopping.
Y'all remember that actor Leonardo DiCaprio? Well, Leo is somebody who has been long documented as somebody who really enjoys going to some Diddy parties. But he be saying that he only went to the white parties, not the freak-offs. Bruh, you sure about that? I mean, it could just be me, but this kind of looks pretty sus. It's just a whole bunch of dudes on a bed, and you got your skinny little white boy legs out there. What's really happening? Can we get somebody who's better at science than me to measure the distance between Leo's junk and Diddy's mouth? And what are these other dudes doing? I swear to God, that dude is making straight up love eyes at him. And Leo be looking real happy and real relaxed right here.
Leonardo DiCaprio is voting for Kamala Harris. Has nothing to do with the Diddy parties.
When you guys were talking,
nothing to do with the Diddy parties. He's endorsed Kamala Harris because of climate change.
Then did you see him? He's on a yacht and then on a private jet. Literally last week.
Yeah.
Do you know Diddy won a lawsuit against that alcohol company?
Ciroc?
Ciroc.
Yes.
He won $1 billion deal, and once that happened, then this all came out.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So... Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you're nearly 50, son.
It's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala, too.
Yeah, seriously. It's insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's now deciding she's warning people against Trump. I'm well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Rogan didn't hold back. He said what most people were too afraid to say, that Diddy's ties to young celebrities went far deeper than anyone knew. And when Rogan started connecting the dots between a young Leonardo DiCaprio and Diddy's power moves in the 1990s, everything changed. Let's rewind. Back in the early 1990s, Leonardo DiCaprio was Hollywood's breakout golden boy, a teen actor with charm, talent, and a rising star that couldn't be stopped. Around the same time, Diddy was climbing to the top of the hip-hop industry, building bad boy records, launching stars like Biggie, and becoming a nightlife kingpin. But behind the glitz, there was something else brewing, something much darker. According to insiders and resurfaced reports, Diddy often surrounded himself with young talent, not just in music, but in film. One of those young stars, Leonardo DiCaprio. They were seen at the same parties, flown to the same locations, and somehow always orbiting each other despite being in completely different industries. That's where Joe Rogan started asking questions. Why was a teenage Leo being invited to these parties? Rogan asked during a recent episode, why was Diddy, this adult man with full control over massive events and exclusive scenes, so comfortable pulling young actors into that world? And it wasn't just once. Old photos have surfaced, backstage snapshots, after-party footage, event appearances that never raised alarms at the time, but look a lot more suspicious now that Diddy is under federal investigation and facing multiple lawsuits. Rogan's tone changed as he broke down the timeline. This wasn't some innocent Hollywood friendship, he said. This was a powerful man inserting himself into the lives of teenage stars, and you have to ask, for what reason? According to Rogan, the pattern fits. Diddy has always aligned himself with the most valuable young talent. He offers access, he promises power, but what does he want in return? That's the problem, Rogan said. You've got a kid like Leonardo trying to navigate Hollywood, trying to survive the pressure of fame, and here comes Diddy dangling influence, money, and connections. It's the same story we've heard from other young stars, Rogan explained. Diddy uses charm and opportunity to get close. But once you're in, the pressure starts, and if you try to pull away, things get messy. Rogan pointed to the current lawsuits piling up against Diddy and said this isn't new behavior. We're just finally seeing the fallout, he said. But it's been happening for decades. He then referenced Leonardo's shift in behavior over the years. You watch early interviews with Leo and he's full of energy, smiling, confident. But then there's a period where he gets really guarded, where he starts dodging questions, where he avoids certain names entirely. Rogan made it clear he's not accusing Leo of anything. In fact, he praised DiCaprio for keeping his head down and avoiding public drama. The guy's a survivor, Rogan said, but you can tell he's been through some stuff. And I think Diddy was part of that world that damaged him. Eddie one berkaris borsimes weird tears o 101 year dean. Rogan highlighted that shocked fans. A 1995 red carpet interview where DiCaprio is asked about his new circle of friends in the industry. He stumbles, pauses, and then changes the subject. At the time, no one thought much of it, but today, that silence says a lot more. Rogan believes Leo's silence may have been survival. He didn't want to blow it up. He didn't want to get blacklisted, Rogan said. But now that everything's coming out about Diddy, maybe it's time to re-examine who was protecting who and who was being protected from. He also blasted the media for never digging deeper. The entertainment industry protected Diddy for years, Rogan said. They let him into every room, every party, every after-hours hangout, and nobody questioned why he was always around kids. Rogan added, people talk about Hollywood being shady. Well, here it is, out in the open. And it's time we start believing the people who've been quiet for too long. One of the reasons Rogan was so outraged is because the same pattern that allegedly played out with Justin Bieber, Aaron Carter, and other young celebrities may have also happened to Leonardo. It's not about proof, Rogan said. It's about pattern. Diddy kept showing up where he didn't belong, and the victims were always young, talented, and vulnerable. He called on more people to come forward. If Leo ever decides to speak, I hope the world listens, Rogan said. Because I guarantee what he's holding back could shake the entire industry. But even if Leo never says a word, Rogan says the signs are all there. We don't need a confession to know something was off, he said. We just need to open our eyes. Rogan also predicted that the Diddy empire is close to collapse. There's no saving him at this point, he said. Too many stories, too much evidence, and too many people finally brave enough to call it out. He ended his rant with a chilling summary. Diddy built his reputation on power, but now that power is turning into exposure, and the people he tried to control, they're taking that power back. Joe Rogan didn't just go off on Diddy. He laid out a timeline that paints Diddy as the architect of his own destruction. A man who surrounded himself with youth, influence, and silence. And now, that silence is cracking. Leonardo DiCaprio may never tell his side. But Joe Rogan already said enough to make the world rethink everything it thought it knew.